All right. Hello, everyone. We are really getting deep into this pink energy. I have another a pendulum, I guess it is, here in rose quartz now that I got for my birthday. And I'm doing the dual flame thing again today. So I don't know if this is going to have something to do with connection again. But let's open the energy and find out what it is. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's see. They want me to use the pink tarot cards, so I'm going to get those out. So very much about the pink today. All right. Maybe you're surrounding... I noticed that I've painted my nails this light pink, and I painted my toenails this light pink, which is unusual for me to have the toenails, especially that color. And I bought pale pink pajamas the other day. So, and this is all like, I'm just realizing after, I'm definitely immersing myself in this pink, okay? So let's see what they want to talk about here. Oh, the moon, okay. Intuition, and the reverse side would be illusion, but, okay. They want me to look in this book, the pink book, okay? Yep, so it is a pink book, to see what the message is that they want to give with this card. So the moon, 13, right? No, 18, sorry. 18. Where is it? Here we go, getting close. 17 is the star and the moon. Okay. So the phrase that's in the book for this card, which I should get so you can see it a little bit better, is, my intuition illuminates the path forward, even when things are unclear. Ah, that's what they want to say. Okay. My intuition illuminates the path forward, even when things are unclear. And it's interesting because I was just saying that I'm, without even, not consciously, I'm just, drawn to this pink these days. Buying pink clothing, painting my nails this color, getting gifts of more and more of this pink. So this color is becoming, like, I'm immersed in it right now, it seems. And that is my intuition, illuminating the path forward. And the path forward is unconditional love for myself, for everything, right? And we can talk about what unconditional love is. I don't know if we're going to in this reading, but, whatever you understand it as, is what you'll interpret this reading as, okay? So my intuition, what did it say? How did it say it? I want to say it exactly how it said it. So my intuition illuminates the path forward, even when things are unclear. And then we're noticing that, my intuition, personally, is illuminating the path forward as one of unconditional love, okay? Because of all this pink that's just taking over, it seems. All right. And it's interesting. Okay, they want me to tell you this story. So when I started my healing journey, when I started energy work and all that kind of stuff, and I may have talked to you guys about this stuff before, but anyways, I've always, like, my grandmother always used pendulums, always read cards, and I was always aware of subtle energies around me. And, I thought that was normal, and people talked about this and knew about this kind of stuff. But when I really immersed myself in learning more about this, and especially about the energy work side of things, the very first workshop I went to, I didn't know even what I was getting myself into. I had felt an energetic pull, which I didn't even know it was to call it an energetic pull. I called it a magnetic pull, but it was an energetic pull, magnetic pull, whatever you want to call it, to my left when I was speaking to people with intuition. And whenever they spoke about my dad passing away, I would feel this pull, and I wanted to understand that more. So I ended up, through a series of synchronicities and serendipitous things, went to the first workshop with an energy healer that I had come to find out about. And her grandson was there that day, and he really wanted to come in. He was like 3 or 4, and he really wanted to come into the room and tell us, each of the women that were in the workshop, I think there were 4 or 5 of us, what he knew about us, what he saw, what he knew. He was very open still, being a child and having a grandmother that was working in this area. So he came in, and when it came to me, he looked at me and he said, "Oh, you're too pink for me." And it's interesting because, at that time, I was very pink. I was unconditionally loving. I had no boundaries. I was just trying to please everybody, and and it wasn't that I was doing it out of a motivation of any sort. It was just how I was. It was how I was programmed, I guess, or whatever from childhood. It's just I'm a 4th child, and my parents were very people. They like to please people, and they like to help people, and they're, I guess, very empathetic people, you would say. And I come from that kind of a family. And then having had my dad pass away, there was just a lot. And so I was very, very kind and nice and sweet to everybody, right? Very sweet. So he said, "You're too pink for me," which was interesting. And then at lunch, he wanted to share his grapes with us. And when he came to me, he gave me this small little grape. And because the grapes, the small grapes, he said were sour, and he wanted to give me some sourness, He wanted to give me some boundaries, I guess, help me with some boundaries. So, so I've gone through a whole journey since then. It's been decades, like 3 decades or something. And I've gone through a whole journey from there to here, where I got pretty sour at times for, some, at times, and some people know it more than others and have seen it, that side, the shadow side, a little bit more than others. But here I'm back, full circle, immersed in this pink, and it's making me think of this right now, right? So not sure why I shared that whole story with you. Maybe you had a similar journey through, like, coming from being really sweet and really, just naturally, unconditionally loving, and, but then maybe people took advantage of that, and maybe, or people just weren't kind and loving back to you. For me, I know I had a roommate that was, a night owl, and then so when I would wake up at 8 or 9 in the morning to do normal things, would get angry with me, and that was one of the things that eventually pulled me out of this sweetness, kindness, and into a place of, you know what, I'm going to stand up for myself here. This is ridiculous. I'm not doing. It's not like I'm doing anything unusual. I'm getting up and getting ready to go to work at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning or whatever it was, right? So anyways, so there's a whole, cycle, a whole, whatever you want to call it. What is the word I'm looking for? Journey, I guess we'll call it a journey. I don't know, for lack of a better word. From the pink through whatever, back to the pink now, right? Oh, so as I say that, they're asking me to do this, because I said I went from the pink through whatever. And this is the moon, right? And the moon is the dark side of the, the dark side of the, whatever, I don't know, dark side of whatever. Dark side of the moon is what I'm thinking of. But it's like, it's the shadow, right? It's the shadow, and it gets it's talks about that shadow and dark side. So that's interesting that it's right in the middle. So I went from the, pink to this to here, but the intuition plays the role, and it illuminates the path the whole way through, even when things are not clear, even when you're in the shadow work, even when you're, maybe not feeling so pink and loving and kind and etc., right? So now, do you want me to shuffle the cards, or do you want me to take the top card? You want me to shuffle the cards, okay? Okay, this is the card that's sticking in my hand, so it's the one. Oh, King of Cups. Yes, the journey was one of emotional maturity, right? Coming to a place of emotional maturity. We all start off emotionally immature for the most part. I mean, I don't know if anybody is born emotionally mature. And even if you are, you probably get a few knocks and a few things happen to you, and you become triggered at times. And but yeah, so the journey is about emotional maturity is what I'm getting with the King of Cups. They're drawing me to his throat chakra. I don't know. I gotta see I gotta hold it up here where I can see it. Sorry. What is that? I can't really see what that is. I don't know why I can't really see what that is in his throat. Maybe you can see what it is, but okay. So they want me to just hold this this means something to someone. Whatever's in his throat means something to one of you. Okay, it's going to be a symbol for one of you. And then they're also making me notice his hand there. That's something for some of you. I don't know. I'd have to look this up. Maybe it says it in the book what it is. I'm going to look. But what I'm understanding right at this moment is that they're telling me that the journey that I'm describing is one of coming to emotional maturity. Okay? So let me see what it says about the King of Cups in here. So the catchphrase in here is emotional stability is a form of wisdom. Yes, so it's also coming to a place of being wise. Okay. The King of Cups is the worldly and calm projection of emotional maturity and authority. He has mastered his emotions and observes them without being consumed or controlled by them. He is a reminder to remain centered and calm in your internal world, regardless of what is happening around you. Oh, okay. Do you want me to? So, yes, finish reading this and then go over there. Okay. When you can learn to stay open and aware of your emotions and unconscious impulses, you unlock a deeper understanding of yourself and can interact with the world in a way that is more responsive and less reactive. For example, when you are faced with challenges that would normally throw you off balance, you have the ability to temper your emotions and consciously respond to the situation instead of becoming overwhelmed, angry, or filled with despair. This card is also symbolic of your relationships. You may find you are called upon by others to help them navigate their own emotional turmoil. Trust that your advice for them is sound and your place in their life is inspiring positive change. Okay. Now, I can see here, it's a scarab that's in his throat, okay? And all-seeing eye. So the scarab and all-seeing eye show that the king is attuned to the inner knowledge that is passed on from his ancestors. And that's the journey too. So the journey is one of coming to a place of wisdom and emotional maturity and wisdom, and coming to a place of being attuned to the inner knowledge that is passed on from your ancestors. Beautiful. And the halo, I noticed that too when I was holding it up here. He has a halo. It says the halo signifies an air of authority and self-respect. Okay, and then there's something else here they're pointing to. I don't know what, his ear? What is that? His expression. A calm and centered expression depicts the energy of this card. Yes, okay. They're not telling me why his hand is in that position, but that will mean something to some of you. Okay. All right, now we're going to get this card over here. Is it the card that fell out? That's 2 cards. Okay, we're going to shuffle. There we go. We've got the 1 card. Oh, the 5 of Cups. Okay, interesting. The 5 of Cups. I thought it was the 3 of Cups. I got excited, but it's the 5 of Cups. Oh, okay. Yeah. The 5 of Cups makes sense. Sorry. Because the 5 of Cups is about you have learned the lessons you needed to learn, and now it's time to move forward, right? So the 5 of Cups says there's no point in crying over spilt milk. The past is the past. It can't be changed. The milk can't be put back in the cup. Forget about it. It's all good. You've learned from it. You learn not to put the cup there, or you learn not to fill it too full, and, whatever. I don't know. Whatever lessons you needed to learn, you've learned. Let those go. Let the past go. Bring the lesson forward with you, but let the past go, right? Let the actual experience that taught you the lesson go. And now focus on these 2 cups, which is the 2 of Cups, which is a relationship. It's the lovers, right? It's I don't know why I said it's the lovers. That's not the case, but for some reason that's what came to mind. But it is that relationship. It's the Two of Cups, right? It's like two. Oh, and that's look, look, it's still there. I don't know if you can see, but there's still two flames, so two different wicks there. So it's like these two cups is what they want you to focus on, that as you go forward. And he has two cups here, right? But now they're closer together. They're coming into unity. So this could be the divine feminine and divine masculine within you coming into unity, and also potentially in the external world as well, okay? All right, one more card. Take them all and get one more card, okay? So it's coming into unity, which is that unconditional love for yourself and for all, makes coming into unity a lot more easy, you know, and I can't talk right now. I can't speak properly, but coming into union, right, is what I'm hearing. Now let's see what this card is. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, elevation, adaptation and elevation. Yeah, this is fated. This was a fated journey, okay? Moving through this, you know, from here through the darkness, through the shadow work, through the whatever, to getting to a place where you'll let your intuition illuminate the path forward even when things are unclear, because it's fated and you know that and you understand that and you're in tune with your ancestors and the wisdom of your ancestors, and you can now, you've learned all the lessons that you needed to learn. Those are over. You can focus on these two cups as you move forward, okay? And your relationships are going to be reflecting this. Your external relationships are going to be reflecting this unconditional this unconditional love that you have for yourself and for others now, and that union consciousness, unity consciousness. That's what it is. Okay. Anything else that you want me to see, know, hear, feel right now? Understand? Okay, are there any numbers, anything? I'm sorry, you're not really seeing the cards. I'm going to try to put them so you can see them here. Okay, can you see them now? I'll have to back this up a little bit more. What do you want me to look at here? This is 181 is how they want me to look at that. 181, so I'm going to look up that number. 181. Your angels are encouraging you to let go of other people's challenges, mistakes, and bad behavior. You deserve to be free from them. Okay, so that's part of this lessons, the lessons that you've learned. And like I said, if you were, as I started out, if you were someone who was really sweet and really loving and really kind, and then, you know, you experienced some people having some bad behaviors towards you and, you know, making mistakes and presenting challenges and everything, and that's part of your journey to get here into where you have learned from it all. And, you know, it was probably not fun sometimes. They're saying your angels are encouraging you to let go of other people's challenges, mistakes, and bad behavior. You deserve to be free from them. Okay, what a beautiful message. And that was actually 182, not 181, but that's what my eye got drawn to. So the 181 says you are being invited to leave behind challenging situations of the past in order to prepare yourself for miracles. So I guess you had to hear this part about letting go of other people's challenges and mistakes and bad behavior because you deserve to be free from them first. And now they want me to read 181. You are being invited to leave behind challenging situations of the past in order to prepare yourself for miracles. Yes. You've learned the lessons. You're attuned to the wisdom of your ancestors. You know, your intuition is going to illuminate the path even when things are unclear. And this is all fated with the Wheel of Fortune, okay? And the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, you know, because the Wheel of Fortune can be sometimes interpreted that there's some negative things coming, and then it can be interpreted that there's some really great things coming. I always see it as a positive. I mean, that's my bias. But so yeah, it's turning in your favor. And it's fated. Okay? Are there other numbers you want me to look at? The 185, okay? The 185. Angels want you to know that they adore you. I love that message. They adore you. All right. Is there anything else that you want me to deliver? Any other messages right now? I don't even know what this is going to be called yet. They're not telling me. Anything else? Nope, that's it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.